The USA Food and Drug Administration agency recently warned Dr. John Zhang against marketing his three-parent baby fertility treatment. The marketing was done through his novel company, Darwin Life. This method basically involves creating a child from two mothers and a father. Dr. Zhang is a New York fertility doctor, whose institute has been marketing this spindle nuclear transfer fertility treatment. He is an executive of New Hope Fertility Center. Let us crack down some facts. This treatment basically uses the intracytoplasmic sperm injection, which is a fertility treatment for unconceivable couples. But, in this specific case, the maternal contribution is from two women, and the fertility is not the main issue the couple is facing. It targets to help women with mitochondrial gene defects and women who are too old to conceive. He did a procedure with this technique back in 2016, which resulted in the birth of a baby boy in Mexico. Dr. Zhang has published an article on Fertility and Sterility Journal, which explains the spindle nuclear transfer. This story would clarify to us how it is done in simple terms and what is the use of it. The Jordanian woman, who had the baby, was not so lucky with her previous children. She had miscarried 4 times before. The only 2 children she had died young. Only one kid lived up to 6 years. A mitochondrial DNA defect in her ova caused them to suffer from Leigh syndrome, a severe neurological disease. In this case, nuclei from her ova were removed at specific stages in meiosis, the stage giving the name for technique's name, and added to the enucleated egg of another woman. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection was used to fertilize this hybrid egg. Then, the embryo was implanted in the nuclear mother. This embryo was created in New York and was implanted in Mexico. The birth happened at term, uneventfully. He used the legal loopholes in his favor. In USA, it is illegal to implant an embryo which is genetically modified. So, that happened in Mexico, and the boy was born there. The genetic modification of the embryo will be problematic in Mexico. So, that happened in New York. All the genetic material of a person is not contained in the nucleus. A small portion is within the mitochondria. Although mothers' and fathers' chromosomes contribute equally in creating an offspring, the mitochondrial DNA comes only from the mom, because her egg is what becomes the embryo. As in above case, if mother's DNA has some errors, they can cause diseases in the child by inheritance. The spectrum of mitochondrial diseases is wide, and can affect every system and present with several complaints. Leigh syndrome is one of them. Leigh syndrome is a neurological condition affecting 1 in 40,000 newborn babies. It is not necessarily a mitochondrial disease. In fact, only 1/5 of the patients inherit it from mitochondrial DNA. It basically affects the psychological and motor development within early years of life. The cause of death is usually respiratory failure. However, this is not the first time a 3-parent baby was born. Back in 2015, the technique of pro-nuclear transfer came to the legal talks in UK. The Newcastle doctors had introduced this procedure, which involves the fertilization of both mothers' eggs with father's spermatozoa. Earlier this year, the pro-nuclear transfer was used to aid the birth of a healthy girl in Kyiv. What does the future has in store? We will have to wait for that.